Homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't want to speak.
Alright guys, it's BC back with another video. So in this video we're going to go over how to keep your goggles unfogged, a couple quick tips that can help you when you're in the backcountry. We're kind of in an uphill battle, so to speak, when we're riding snowmobiles because our bodies are hot, there can be humidity in the air when it's snowing, there's perspiration from your sweat, there's liquid from snow, rain, whatever. So it can be really hard to keep your goggles unfogged, and when I was starting out I had a heck of a time keeping them unfogged. So we're going to go over just a few quick tips that are going to help you guys be able to actually see the backcountry and have a better time instead of being frustrated. And guys, at the end of this video I'm going to give you a tip that will help you completely eliminate fog, so stick around for that. But in the meantime, hit the subscribe button and keep up with us on Instagram at CookBros. So let's jump right into it. All right guys, so for the first tip, we're going to talk about setup. So your setup doesn't need to be crazy expensive. However, going with correct setup when it comes to helmet and goggles are going to help you keep your goggles unfogged. And what I mean by that is a lot of snowmobile goggles are treated with anti-fog, and that can help keep things unfogged, obviously. Something like a motocross goggle, some of them are treated with anti-fog, a lot of them aren't though. So get yourself a snow goggle along with a snow helmet. So a lot of mountain riders don't like wearing a breath box. I think it's great because it funnels that hot air down out of your helmet. And if you wear it right, pinch it on your nose, and then put your goggles in the right spot with a perfect seal, then you'll be able to keep fog and your breath out of the goggle, and it'll funnel down into the right spot. With that being said, guys, something that I recommend is buying the same brand of goggle as you do helmet. So I've found that they fit that seal better if they're the same brand, and they're designed for each other. So get a goggle that is designed for the helmet that you're going to wear, and I think it'll work out a lot better. So when it comes to getting the seal, we want the foam on the skin. If the foam is off the skin just a little bit, it's going to allow air to come in, and one, that's not good for you trying to ride. You're blinking and you have air in your eyes. The other thing is it's going to let that breath, that hot, humid breath of yours when you're manhandling a sled, go straight up into your goggles and fog your goggles, and that is not what we want. So make sure it is tight, and make sure that your goggle strap is seated on your helmet in the correct position, and we want it to be tight, not cutting off your circulation of your face tight, but snug onto your face so that you have that proper seal. Seal goes a long way when it comes to keeping your goggles unfogged. All right, guys, the next tip is body heat regulation. If you go out and you're wearing a Antarctica parka and you're doing, a physical sport like snowmobiling, you're going to be so hot that you're going to be pouring sweat. That's not what we want. So wear the correct layers. If you have to take a jacket off when you get up to the snow, then do that. But you need to be maintaining your heat. If you're going to stop, take a jacket off, ride up in the, where you're staying warm, then put it back on and go down the trail. But the key is to wear the right layers on the right day to make sure that your body heat is warm but not hot where you're fogging the goggles up, because that adds to goggle fog. So for the next tip, we're going to talk about one of the number one mistakes that I see people make, and I make it myself literally all the time, and that is you get stuck or you stop and you're BSing with your buddies and you grab the bottom of your helmet, push it to the top, and now your goggles are right on the top of your head. Hot air rises, you might be sweating, your balaclava might be wet, so you are just introducing the worst conditions for your goggles to be in. So if you're going to stop and you want your helmet off, take your goggles off and put them with the outside of the lens up so that the inside doesn't fill with snow, or take your helmet off completely and set it on your sled and make sure that that foam and the inside of the lens stays dry. This is going to add to one of the several other tips that I've given you on keeping those goggles completely liquid and dampness free. So this is the last tip that I'm going to give you before I give you the ultimate tip. And this tip is basically talking about once your goggles do get perspiration on them or snow or whatever, especially on the inside of the lens. You cannot scratch them with your glove or ice or whatever. Most of these goggles have anti-fog on the inside of the lens, and it's kind of a fragile coating. So if you're going in there and using a really sharp edge to try to wipe everything out, or your coat sleeve that has, you know, pine needles on it or whatever, you're gonna limit how well that goggle does in fog situations, because you're taking the anti-fog off of it. So anti-fog does help. It's not gonna save everything, but you want to keep as much of that coating on as possible. So make sure that you use a goggle cloth or a microfiber cloth that's not going to scratch or peel any of the stuff on the inside of the goggle. And every goggle is different, but make sure you're using a microfiber cloth. It'll clean it better, and it won't take all the coating off the inside of the goggle. Now, this, if you stuck around this long, I'm going to give you the ultimate tip of the day. If you want to keep your goggles completely unfogged, you need heated goggles, baby. So a couple different companies make them. I've had great luck with the 509 ones. So what this is a battery pack here with a wire going to the lens. So the 509 ones, they're actually magnetic. So I can pop the lens out, pop them in. And what this does is it keeps this lens from icing and fogging. And if you do this right, they will never ever fog. So if you charge the battery, there's different settings on the batteries, but if they're on high and you don't put these on the top of your head like we spoke about previously in this video, these goggles will not fog up. So obviously the settings are going to have a lot to do with it. If you're riding on a low setting, you might fog. Turn it up. These things have saved me millions of times. Like, I will not go riding without these. Even on sunny days, these are a must. So all of us are running heated goggles now. A lot of trail guys do, but if you're in the mountain circuit, you definitely need yourself a pair of heated goggles. And they're a little bit more expensive, so just get yourself a low light lens and a highlight lens or a sunny lens, and you'll be good to go. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully this helped. These are just some simple tips that will help you be fog free on the mountain and help you let her eat even more. Subscribe. Love you. We're out.